Om, Om, Om. When
Om Karam Bindu Samyuktam Nityam Dhyayanti Yogina Kammadam Moksharam Jaiva Om Karaya Namo Namaha Om Karam Bindu Samyuktam Nityam Dhyayanti Yogina Kammadam Moksharam Jaiva Om Karaya Namo Namaha Om Karam Bindu Samyuktam Nityam Dhyayanti Yogina Kammadam Moksharam Jaiva Om Karaya Namo Namaha Om Karam Bindu Samyuktam Nityam Dhyayanti Yogina Kammadam Moksharam Jaiva Om Karaya Namo Namaha Om Karam Bindu Samyuktam Nityam Dhyayanti Yogina Kammadam Moksharam Jaiva Om Karaya Namo Namaha And that is a homage to the sound of Om, which is what the great yogis hear in their meditation as the vibration of the cosmos. So when you go into samadhi, you hear that sound and you become one. So we're setting our intention right now to tune in to the Omkar within our own being, and to feel that presence, that vibration in every particle of our being. As we let go of our human form and merge with the whole. Purnam Premam Anandam Purnam Premam Anandam Purnam Premam Anandam Purnam Premam Anandam Premam Anandam Purnam 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 Premam Anandam Anandam Anandam. And that particular mantra invokes the endless waves of bliss from that aspect of divine love, the Creator. Waves of bliss that you are. That indeed the entire creation is made up of. And so we'll sing together the mantra Anandam Premanandam. Anandam is the bliss, and then Prem or Prema is the divine love. And then we'll switch. And feel free, if you like to harmonize, you can. We can become like a chorus. There was one church that I went to where we had a lot of really good singers. And so it sounded like a chorus of angels singing together.
That sounds awesome.
I was stunned. I was stunned. So, and indeed, we'll ask if our angels, our guides, can join us to chant this mantra with us, to harmonize with us, with their voice of light. Anandam Premanandam Anandam Premanandam Anandam Premanandam Anandam Premanandam Anandam Premanandam Anandam Premanandam Anandam Premanandam. 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 Anandam Atmanandam. 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 Anandam Purnanandam. 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 Anandam Brahmanandam. Anandam Brahmanandam. Anandam Brahmanandam. Anandam Brahmanandam. Anandam Brahmanandam. Anandam Anandam Brahmanandam Anandam Premanandam 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 Anandam Premanandam. So welcome to the abode of love. You could imagine sitting with the angels in heaven right now. And everything is so perfect. Just eternal happiness. An open heart. Just love bursting from your chest. Eternal waves of bliss flowing through your being and through the entire cosmos. Unending, supreme happiness. And welcome to Satsang. Namaste. Sat in Sanskrit means truth, and Sang means Sangha, like gathering. So it's a gathering of truth. This is what Christ did when he went out to do his preaching. He didn't just go to the middle of the square and start preaching. He would sit with people, and first, he and Mary Magdalene would sit and heal people. They'd come and amazing miracles would happen. And then after everyone got fed and everyone was healed, they all sat down in satsang. So I may be using seeming Hindu terms or Indian terms, but don't be deceived. He did the same thing. He just may have used different terms. So we are here kind of, in a sense, reliving that time of being in the presence of Christ. It's very, very important for our spiritual evolution. Very important to just tune in to the energy. That's why I was discussing that with the dentist, that the teachings are not in the words. They're in the presence of the room. Or in that case, people who are online, the presence of the internet waves that are being sent out by Dennis's super powerful internet connection. So, and one thing to note too is if your sound goes out, Ma, if your sound goes out, don't worry, the energy is still alive and well. So you don't even have to hear the sound. You just bask in the energy. That's the idea, right? This is like taking a bath. Not about getting more spiritual information and knowledge, because we've all read plenty of books already on the subject, right? A whole library. I have a whole library. You know how many books, spiritual books that I've given away? When I went, was it 2012 when I renounced, so to speak, and became a sort of wandering monk, lived in my van. I had a lot of spiritual books at that time. So I gave them pretty much all away. So someone has them. You have to give them away so they can continue to circulate. You can't just let them sit on your shelf. Other people have to enjoy them too. So I let those go, and I kept a few very precious books that I would always read. Scriptures, usually. And every day I would read a bit of the scriptures. Now I have all kinds of scriptures, but at that time it was primarily Vedic scriptures. I have this little Bhagavad Gita. People know the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita means the song of God. So you read it, it's the words of Krishna. Krishna's considered, people call him as the supreme personality of Godhead, right? The ultimate of truth. And so when you read the book, you're connecting with Krishna, and he's got all these sort of wise words. If you don't know much about spirituality, you might be confused. What does this mean? Tamasic, Rajasic, Sattvic? What are these words? But actually, after a while, you get used to it. Like, oh, that's what it makes sense. So if I live a virtuous life, then I gain the energy of sattva, sattvic quality, right? Do good, say good, think good, right? You're developing sattva. Then when you sit down, immediately going into meditation, that's a sattvic state. Then there are others who are in that state of constant movement, moving here and there. You know, this is a rajasic state, right? And then there's a person who's in satsang and he's asleep. I've gotten people who snore during satsang. I want to throw something at them. Wake up. That's the tamasic mode. The sleepy, lazy, bored. So one thing to note about a gathering like this is that the energy has a purifying effect. This means that it sort of percolates through your system and pushes out the tamasic or the heavy energies, pushes them out of your system. And in the meantime, you can start yawning, you can start scratching your back, you can start wandering your mind. This is all kind of part of the purification process. It's pushing out all your heaviness. And then, once you've been purified, which by the way is an extremely necessary process, then the light can arise within you. If you don't purify, it will be very, very difficult to illuminate yourself. Why? Because there's no room, there's no space. Right? You have to create a very similar idea to, Dennis is very, very good at this. You sweep your house every day, keep it as clean as you can, just in case God comes today. Similarly, you sweep your mind, you sweep your consciousness, subconscious, unconscious, even the places that even you can't reach. You sweep those places, and then there's more space than just in case God wants to arise within you. How do you know that that happens? Well, everyone has all kinds of different experiences showing them that God has come, or that the presence has come. Just from my own personal example, back in 2006, I did a very serious breath session. And breath session will push out a lot of that tamasic or heavy energy. And then at some point, maybe 45 minutes in the breath session, something switched on. It was like a flame. It was like a flame. It literally felt like that. And it was like a meditative energy that was pushing upwards, a buoyancy, and it was pushing higher and higher. And so ever since then, I was in a different state. And then always walking in meditation. Walking, talking in meditation, eating in meditation. Whatever I was doing, always being meditated. I didn't have to do anything. Oh, close your eyes, be still. Now do this practice, then you'll meditate. No, you can be in a constant state of meditation. And that is always reminding you of God. You don't have to, because I used to have, I think I told the story about having the God alarm and always vibrating on it would vibrate every hour or so and say, think of God. So every time I had the vibration go on, I would say, I would think of God. But if the presence is always pushing it through my system, how can I forget? It's impossible to forget. But before that, I had no clue about this. So it's hard to believe when you read spiritual books that say, practice yoga, do breathing, do meditation, do mantra, all these different spiritual practices. It's hard to believe them. I thought that it was kind of not real. So I was quite the staunch atheist. But then having a real experience totally changes your idea of being atheist. You really can't be atheist anymore. It's impossible. So my wish is for each person here that they may experience something deep within, a spiritual connection, a profound breakthrough in their spiritual journey and their inner feeling. And so we're going to start with a simple breath practice to center ourselves. I would suggest to most people that if you're going to try to do a really deep meditation, that the breath would be a very good thing to start with, to center yourself. If you just come out of doing things all day long and then you try to sit and meditate, it's often hard because you've got a momentum of thought going. And it's like you can't stop the momentum. So the breath helps you to control your mind. It's like your access to your mind to shut it off very quickly. And then when you do your spiritual practice, it can take off and you'll have much more significant results. Especially if you're doing the mantras, practicing like the mantras. You could just start chanting, or you could warm up to it, we'll say. So this is a warm-up. Okay. So this is a breath practice to activate love in the heart. There's a term for the esoteric heart here, which is a very large energetic structure. And this is called the hridayam. So then the breath practice goes like this. You take your right hand, you place it over your heart, and then you breathe into the heart deeply. And when you breathe out, you chant Om Hridayam. Exactly. We'll try it again. Breathe light into the heart. Om Hridayam. And you breathe out all the air, and then breathe in again. Om Hridayam. Om Hridayam. Om Hridayam. Hridayam. Om Hridayam. Om Hridayam. Let's do it 3 more times. Om Hridayam. Om Hridayam. Om Hridayam. And just relax. And then if you have a favorite master or spiritual being or angel or some guide that you attune with that represents the divine consciousness for you, then you can imagine that being in your heart chakra, glowing. And imagine that being is growing brighter and brighter in your chest. And then the light of that being expands even more up into your neck and your head, to the shoulders, arms and hands. The light of that being spreading down the abdomen, down through the pelvis, into the legs and feet, until every single cell of the body is glowing in the presence of that divine being. Then the light spreads into your aura, surrounding your whole body with pure light. Imagine you have dissolved into that light. You have become that light, which now spreads infinitely. Across the cosmos. Now there is only one infinite light, and you are that. And then very gently, just coming back to the experience of the room. And the body, and the seat. So, at least in the Vedic or the ancient Indian tradition, the entire cosmos is made up of, you could say, energy, very, very, very subtle energy. And people call that the Divine Mother. So, and in Sanskrit, there's another word for it, and that is Shakti. And part of the path of illumination is to realize that I am that energy, which is everything. When I say I am, meaning you are. I am is just a euphemism, meaning there is only the Shakti. And we tend to identify ourselves as the one individual person, because consciousness somehow gets trapped in a body. But once we break through the confines of individuality, then we can experience the Divine Mother as the supreme energy of everything that exists. She's in charge of the very thoughts that you're thinking right now. She's that energy that makes up your very thought. So people think, oh, these thoughts are mine and me. No, they're not yours. They're the property of the Divine Mother. This is an interesting thought. So we somehow misidentify, thinking that these thoughts that are running through the mind somehow are me. So, and then also, our mind seems to split the cosmos up into me and you and the air and the house and the world and the universe. When it is, that's a sort of, you could call it the mind's sleight of hand. It's just like a magician's trick, kind of. And that's why the mother is often called Maya, the great illusion. She makes it all come alive and dance. She's dancing through everything. And somehow we figured, oh, I'm now in charge of myself. And this is the, we'll call it misstep. We've forgotten that there is only the Divine Mother dancing everywhere, through you and as you. Right? This statement should blow your mind, right? Just speaking those words. She is you, thinking you, as you, speaking through you, seeing through you. So we'll invoke the Divine Mother. You can sing the mantra with me. Jaya Jaya Jagadambe Ma Ambe. Jaya, Jaya means victory. It's pretty much victory to the Divine Mother. Victory to, in other words, let her take you over. Just surrender. Let go of yourself. Surrender to her. She'll do all the work for you. You don't have to work so hard. This mantra will help you to really feel her. You can chant with me as you get it. Jaya Jaya Jagadambe Mahambe. Jaya Jaya Jagadambe Mahambe. Jaya Jaya Jagadambe Mahambe. Jaya Jaya Jagadambe Mahambe. Jaya Jaya Jagadambe Maambe. Jaya Jaya Jagadambe Maambe. Jaya Jaya Jagadambe Maambe. Jaya Jaya Jagadambe Mahambe. Jaya Jaya Jagadambe Mambe. Jaya Jaya Jagadambe Maambe. Jaya Jaya Jagadambe Maambe. Jaya Jaya Jagadambe Maambe. Jaya Jaya Jagadambe Maambe. Jaya Jaya Jagadambe Mambe. 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 Oh, Mother, be with us tonight. Allow us to feel your grace inside and outside, everywhere. I know that you are the energy that runs my whole being. You make me alive. You are so vast, so huge. I cannot fathom what you are. All I can do is bow and surrender. And take me over. I'm ready. notice that as you let go of your personal self, you become more spacious, more wide, more soft, more porous. And then your spiritual practices become much more effective, much more profound. They make so much more sense. So then, it's not me chanting a mantra. Did you notice the words that were coming through, right? It's not me. Who is chanting, right? Who's chanting? Where is the one who's chanting? And what is the sound, right? The sound is the Divine Mother also. And the one who's thinking the mantra. And the one who's hearing. And all of that power of hearing is the Divine Mother. So this is what I mean. You lose yourself in this kind of soft contemplation. And then when the mantra issues forth, then there's room for it to so-called land or arise and become much more powerful. People wonder, how do you empower your chants? Then stop thinking that it's you who is chanting. Very simple. You could chant billions of mantras, and yet if you still think that you're the one who's chanting, then you're still caught in, the individual. You haven't been illuminated yet. You're still struggling in darkness, feeling separation from the Mother. So once that person dissolves and the Mother truly absorbs you back into her, I don't know, you could call it womb, then you are gone and all there is the Mother. So it's as I said, a kind of mind-blowing idea in which it's hard for us to comprehend, but we can feel it bit by bit. That's what I'm saying. Did you notice you feel a little bit more diffused after doing the practice? Like, I don't quite feel so much here anymore. Do you notice that? I'm not so much here in a gathering listening to some talk or chanting some mantra or listening to a text go off. I don't feel so here because guess what? You're not. You're universal consciousness. You're universal. You're everywhere. It's just somehow our consciousness gets so dense and stuck in one place that it forgets that I am the vast Shakti, which is infinite and everywhere. I'm everywhere. So when I say that, an example of a being who was quite aware of the Divine Mother consciousness was Aurobindo. And so that's why Aurobindo was able to speak so profoundly on the nature of the Divine Mother. Have you read that little book? Oh, wow, I should bring that next time and read it to you. That'll knock your socks off.
Is it called The Mother?
The Mother. Yeah. Little tiny book. But the way he writes it, most people don't think, because Aurobindo writes for people who are pretty much already enlightened. He does. Because a normal person reading go, I can't understand a word. Even his words are just, but when you read it, you get a sense of the vastness of the Divine Mother. And then it'll break a lot of normal spiritual ideas of what Divine Mother actually is, which I love that. I love that, right? Because you start, that's what I say, Aurobindo sees himself with planets and stars hanging inside his cosmic body. He knows himself to be that. His self isn't inside there. The body may be walking around, but his self is not there. His self is the cosmic self. So he speaks about himself as the cosmic being with all of the galaxies and all the universes floating inside him. This is a whole different way of considering. And then he's begun to then expand to books, this thick, huge books that when I read them, I get so overwhelmed I can't handle it. It's so huge. So I'm interested. This is an interesting idea. Swami Purna, Oh, here he is. He has a little candle lit for him. Swami Purna was once asked, what is the definition of enlightenment? You know what he said? You'll never guess. It's amazing. He said, when you have no more limits, when you can create planets, stars, and galaxies with a single thought. Right? This is how he's speaking. Why? Because, he's there. He's the cosmic, he's the Mahat, the cosmic mind. They say that every person, every being is in the mind of the Guru. Everyone is walking in the dream of the Guru. The Satguru is everywhere and everything. It was interesting one story I heard about a woman who was walking through a market, and maybe it was in the Middle East or something a while back, and then a thief ran into her and pushed her down, took her purse and ran off. And the woman just stared and still quite happily and watched the man run away through the market. And then someone came up and helped her up and said, why didn't you scream or yell or chase after the guy? He stole your purse. And then she said, where can he go? I'm everywhere. He's running through me. There's nowhere where I am not, so he cannot escape me. You see my point here. She's in a cosmic consciousness state where everyone is herself. She is the whole cosmos and feels herself to be that. She wanted to sort of tune into that part of her body on the other side of the universe. She could, and she would know exactly what was going on. She could look at a person and see exactly all of their whole karmic makeup. Why? Because that's her. That's also the Divine Mother. She sees everything about them, knows everything about them, knows their entire past, knows their karmic makeup, and knows exactly what they need in order to become illumined, enlightened, free from their ego. That's why if you ever get a true guru or a true spiritual being to guide you, if you follow them, they will help you to unlock the sort of deepest recesses of your mind and your being to help you to reach that cosmic state that you're destined to return back to. Not just you might or you might not, or oh, maybe someday or whatever. You are going back to God, guaranteed. Now, how quickly you want to go, that's another story. When I first really got into this, I was eager. Obsessed. Now that I've gotten through that stage, I'm consumed, not just obsessed. I want to find out the secrets of the entire universe, and I won't stop, right? This is a kind of intensity, and it oftentimes requires that, because you're talking about realizing your cosmic being, and like Swami Purna said, no limitations. He can choose when to discard the body, how long to live. No one knows how old he is. I'm guessing maybe around 200 something, but no one really knows. And he can choose when the body shall be discarded. And also a being like that can switch into another, wants to become, let's say, a fish in the sea. swim around, just like that. There was another woman who was walking with her friend down a trail. Who knows, maybe it was in Yosemite or something. They were walking together and suddenly she dives into the earth and starts swimming through the earth and then comes out the other side. What happened? The person was shocked. Right? Because you have no limitations. There's no such thing as matter for you. You're beyond matter. You're beyond even light and energy. Some people call that a siddha. Siddha, you've heard that. A person who has mastered all the elements and mastered the whole existence. There is no more limitation. Now, when I heard that answer to enlightenment, I said, oh, this is not just about awakening. Many people have been awakened on this planet, but very, very, very few have reached the state of no limitations. Swami Purna also said that the spiritual path begins when the ego has dissolved and the soul has arisen. Once you are awakened, once you are self-realized, we'll call it, then the path actually begins. Then you start to walk your spiritual path. It's interesting, that's a high bar. That's when it begins. We're just struggling to get out of negative thinking. We need to go to a counselor to help us to, understand why not to dislike this person or that person. But that's the first step. You have to build your foundation first, right? Where first of all negativity gets dissolved. You have no more judgment towards anyone. That would be a good foundation for one's spiritual path. In how you get to that, the bliss that is running through your being is so strong that your mind can't even think of a judgment. There's no space for the judgment even to arise. That's how powerful your bliss is. Isn't that cool? Who wants to judge? That's not fun. No one wants to. We want to be free of every, I call it purify every bad bone of my body. I'd like that. I haven't had much fun with negative thoughts towards people or anything. I haven't had much fun. But when I was younger, I didn't think that it was possible. I just thought it was normal to live with a negative mind. I thought that was normal. Right? That's why we have these gatherings here. That's why Dennis even holds these, because Dennis genuinely wants people to, have a happy life, a naturally happy life where there's no more problems anymore. Even the biggest challenge is, oh boy, I can't wait. This is going to be really fun. Thinking of it as a challenge that I can't wait to face, rather than, oh boy, here comes that person. What do I say now? Instead, you have no enemies. Everyone is your friend. You know why everyone is your friend? Because even the people who are against you are only helping you to bring out your darkness so that you can see it and purify it. Oh, I didn't know that I had that reactivity. That's really interesting. Let me see about how I can purify that and let that go. Thank you to that person who just made fun of me or was mean to me or attacked me. Thank you. You helped me. And then you can look at any situation, fearful situations, any difficult situations. You're looking at them, you're switching your mind, you're going, yes, this is my chance to purify my fear. This is going to be a really difficult situation. I'm really nervous about talking to my boss about getting a raise or asking for a raise or whatever it is we ask. So I get an opportunity to face my fear and purify that. Yes. Because it always seems to be some little negative, this little darkness lurking, just takes the right situation to poke you in the right way. You go, ow! I didn't know I was reactive to that. And it happens like a lot of people who walk the spiritual path, they think, oh, I'm enlightened, oh, I'm free, and then suddenly they get into a situation where, oh boy, like you've seen gurus who have fallen? Plenty of them. Why? They're still human. They're still human. They may have purified and reached a point of self-realization, but there are parts in their subconscious, unconscious mind that still have not been purified. Many people are satisfied with where they're at, and they don't want to dig up any more dark parts because it's too hard to face. That's why gurus end up getting into scandals and things like that, and then getting a bad name. Happens all the time. So here we can wake up our own inner guru. You mentioned the title, the inner guru, waking up your own inner guru, where that inner guru is always guiding you, always leading you along the virtuous path. It's a little bit similar to your conscience. Conscience says, don't do that. That's not a nice thing. That's kind of like your first inner guru, you know. You kind of know, how to be nice and how, what's going to be kind of more manipulative or trying to get your way. You know, the conscience knows. So paying attention to the conscience. So we chanted the Atma mantra. Remember that? Anandam, Atmanandam. And some people know that word, Atma, the soul. So I like that word, Atma. So you can chant a mantra to awaken the soul. And we're going to do an Atma mantra right now, specifically for that, to wake up soul consciousness. And the mantra is, I am Atma Brahma. 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 Atma Brahma. I am 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 Atma Brahma. And so that transcendental state, the soul, which is the watcher of all of creation, the divine masculine path, we now dive into our meditation upon that Atma. And so just notice your experience right now, where you're at, what you're feeling, what you're thinking, what you're sensing. And everything that you are experiencing and feeling right now, just let it go. And say to yourself, this is not the absolute reality. And so I'm letting it all go. And now notice your state, your feeling of life and existence. Any sensations, any thoughts or feelings. And just to say to yourself, I'm letting it all go. And just let it fall away. None of the experiences flowing through right now are important. So just let it fall away. And now notice your experience of life in this moment. Your feeling of location, of body, of space. And all of those sensations and experiences. Just let them fall away. None are important right now. So we're letting them go. And now notice your experience of life. Feeling of time, space, and distance. And these things are not the absolute reality. So we're letting them go. And now just notice any sense of individuality or humanness or person. And let all of those go. Letting go of the entire person. None of it is important. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Hari Om. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Hari Om, 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 Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Hari Om. And then the closing mantras in honor of the Satguru. Om Asatoma Sat Gamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya. Lead us from untruth to truth. Lead us from darkness to light. And lead us from death to immortality. Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. The Guru is Brahma, the creator. The Guru is Vishnu, the sustainer. The Guru is Shiva, the destroyer. The Guru is indeed that supreme being. I bow unto that Guru. And to every single being that hangs on the walls and every statue here in this home, my obeisances unto them, those who are guiding us from darkness to light. May we follow in their footsteps, leading us to that shore, that celestial shore, where everything is happy, everything is at peace. Coming back to the arms of God. Tvameva mata cha pita, tvameva bandhus cha sakha, tvameva vidya dravinam, tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. You are my mother, yes you are. You are my father, yes you are. You're my friend. You're my wealth. You're everything to me. You're my God of gods. Om Purnamata Purnamitam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. This is whole. That is whole. From wholeness comes the whole. When we take away the whole from the whole still remains whole. And so we place our hands in prayer position in front of our heart. And we'll chant for peace for all beings in this world. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace. 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 be unto all. And thank you all so much for coming tonight. It's been so wonderful to be with you and to be in communion. And Dennis, did you want to say something?
Yes, thank you everyone for coming. I want to thank everybody who brought food and their light and love and everything. I want to also remind everyone there's a donation for Brian. You can leave it on the table. Suggested donation is $20. Also, do not leave, Leslie. We want to have a photo op with Brian. So some of you, we're going to have I got my good camera out. It won't take long to set this up. What a beautiful cosmic journey we've all been on. We were outside time and space in a beautiful bubble of love. And let's maintain this throughout the night. Cultivate this, grow this into a deeper understanding of the Divine Mother. And Michael, aren't you glad you came? I could see you swimming in the light over there. Gone, gone, gone. Beyond gone. And those vibrations are eternal. What you do here in these practices are eternal. They continue and they grow. And out of that manifest these fruits and graces. Things will change. Things will develop. You will see something new come from this meeting tonight. Thank you, Brian. Thank you so much for coming and sharing such beautiful love wisdom, heart wisdom. So, I know some of us are in a hurry, so I will get my camera and we'll be here before Sana Kumar and Lady Master Venus. Brian, all you have to do is stand up, and then we're just going to form like a semicircle here. I'm going to go up there and get my pictures and turn on some lights, and then, we can have fellowship or whatever afterwards, but I want to capture this on my film.